Hey, what is up guys? My name is Luis. One of my subscribers asked if I could do a video on the LW3 and the SPR, and that is what we're doing today. If you want to see a weapon comparison, leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see, and I will do my very best to make it happen. In this video, you will see a comparison with stats, best attachments and proper weapon testing. If this is your first time here, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, as I make tips and tricks in Warzone and much more. Let's look at the weapon stats here. The LW3 has an ADS speed of 530 milliseconds, and the SPR comes in at 350 milliseconds. Movement speed of the LW3 is 4.35 meters per second, and the SPR clocks in at 4.59 meters per second. So when looking at the reload speed, the LW3 reloads in 2.95 seconds, and the SPR reloads in 2.75 seconds. The rate of fire for the LW3 is 41 rounds per minute, and the SPR comes in at 47 rounds per minute. So by looking at these stats, the SPR is looking a bit better than the LW3, but let's check out the damage profile. Both the LW3 and the SPR is going to be that 250 damage to the head, which means it's going to take only one shot to down a fully plated enemy. For the chest damage, we have to talk a little bit about this, and I'm going to try to explain this as easy as possible. So as you can see, the LW3 does 112 damage, 102 and 91 damage, and that is within the first damage drop-off at 85 meters. The SPR has several drop-offs, and it might look like the SPR clearly wins in the chest damage category, but let's take a look at the next damage fall-off for the SPR. So from 24 to 30 meters we lose a bit of chest damage, but not that much. Going to 30 to 53 meters we are down to 152 damage to the chest, and for the final drop-off, that is from 53 meters and out, we can see that the chest damage is down to only 90, and the stomach and extremities are actually down to 50. I don't know about you guys, but I rarely whip out my sniper rifle if the enemy is closer than 50 meters. Of course, this is depending on what my main weapon is, but generally we are using sniper rifles at longer ranges and at least from 50 meters to about 200 meters. The LW3 also drops off after 85 meters, but as you can see, it still beats the SPR. The LW3 does actually double the stomach and extremity damage over the SPR and a little more to the chest damage. Let's jump into the idle sway for both these weapons. As you can see, the LW3 has a considerable amount of idle sway, and since they nerfed the 3x and 4x scopes, we're kinda stuck with the stock scope at the moment, and there's definitely a lot of idle sway with that. I did test out the bruiser grip because the game claims it will give aiming stability. I will let you decide for yourself if you feel like this is helping. Personally, I can't really see a huge difference. There might be a little more stability, but there's no real way to measure it. Also take note that the zoom level on the LW3 scope is greater than the SPR scope. You can of course pick another scope for the SPR, but that affects the ADS speed and we don't want that. Let's look at the attachments, and I'm going to show you what the differences are after the weapons are fully kitted out. For the LW3 we take the wrapped suppressor, combat recon barrel, 5mm laser, serpent grip and 7 round mag. You could change this for the bruiser grip if you feel like you want a bit more movement speed and you feel like the aiming stability is helping you. For the SPR we take the monolithic suppressor, 26-inch barrel, tac laser, solo zero scope and 300 normal rounds. So let's see what weapon changes this actually gives us compared to a stock weapon. The ADS speed of the LW3 ends up at 480 milliseconds and the SPR ends up at 510 milliseconds. For the bullet velocity, the LW3 ends up at 1150 meters per second and the SPR comes in at 1175 meters per second. Let's jump into my final thoughts on these weapons. I have been testing out the LW3 for a little while now, and I must say it might be one of my favorites at the moment. I have used the SPR and Kar 98 for so long that it's nice to have a new sniper rifle that is actually good. What I like about the LW3 is that the damage profile is actually pretty good compared to the SPR. Once the SPR hit that 4th drop-off in damage, the damage of the LW3 really shines. It does considerably more damage at those ranges I usually use my snipers, and I think that is very important to look at. The idle sway is not great, but with good practice this can be managed, and it's not so bad that the weapon is unusable. Right now I would take the LW3 over the SPR, but if I was going for those aggressive builds, I would take the tried and true Kar 98. Nothing beats the Kar 98 for that aggressive sniping right now. The Swiss is pretty close, but the Kar 98 still has that small edge. For an all-round good sniper, I would be very happy with the LW3 right now. Let me know in the comments what you think about these weapons. That is it for this video guys. If you liked the video, please smash that like button, and as always I will see you legends in the next one.